I've been involved in a couple of physical conferences. I think the last one I went to was in Portugal in 2015. And I was a junior alumni last year and this year as well, helping out with several workshops and also clan leader and also doing some global forum stuff for the end of the conference to report on all the magical things that happen. So yeah, that's me. Let me know.
My name is Gosia. I'm from Poland. It's my 9th year with CI. My first conference was in Netherlands in 2012. First time I was alumni in 2015 in Portugal. And this year I'm an alumni and I'm leading the clan group.
Yeah, thank you. For the next question, we would like to ask, so if it's the second or the higher time that they do it in the conference, what changes have you added to your year workshop based on last time's experience?
So I'm running the Millennial Podcast workshop, and I think the differences between this year and last year that I'm mainly doing a little bit of change to is the amount of sessions that we have. So last year we had a few sessions, but there would be the same group of people. So we had a longer period of time to work with the same group of people. But now we've got several sessions that are shorter with different groups of people, if that makes sense. So what I've had to do this year is try to sort of squish in as much as I can within those shorter sessions and still make it more valuable for people, because we don't have as much time to go through things as we did last year. And the sessions last year were spread over a couple of days. And so people had time to go home, think about it, do a little bit of research, and we won't have that time anymore. So most of the changes I've made is thinking about how we're going to make that feasible for students. And if they do have to do research, how can we do that within the shorter period of time?
All right, thank you. I'm going to go a bit more general now, and this applies to both workshop and the clan. So I understand that you have been really involved in the whole process of both creating the workshop and developing the clan ideas. So how did the ideas for both of those come to be, like the final product that you're going to be working with right now?
Maybe the ideas come because we are the group and everyone has a little bit of idea. And when we connect it, it's like the full idea. Like I'm working with Arik for my clan. Yesterday we had a meeting and it was like I said something, he said something, and if we combine it, we have like the whole idea of the workshop.
Yeah, agree with Gosia. Like how we develop things is definitely a very strong back and forth process between people who have done kinds of workshops before and people have new ideas. And obviously the online environment's always challenging, and it's a slightly different format this year compared to last year with different time zones. So that's a challenge. But I think the main thing about the clan is I think it's very heavily inspired by Ireland and the fact that they do have all those clans and all the animals are Irish animals. So it makes sense if you think about it that way.
We wanted to ask, what are the main like understandings that you are hoping students taking back home?
Maybe I can tell by myself what I brought from all the conferences to my life. First of all, it was like the friendships. It's hard to do it online, but you know, we can do it again online. Maybe it will work better. And I think that during the conferences, all the workshops like give you something that you can like learn and share with your friends and share it in your country, because you know everything we show here, it depends on the country you live. It's in every country it's different, and if they learn something from others, they can like check if they can do it in their country. So maybe this is the best way to like use the online conference, because you know when we meet each other it's different, much different, but now we can like just hear and compare and maybe try to use it in your area?
My answer for the Millennial Podcast or my workshop, what I hope students come out of it with is mainly, number one, maybe a little bit of public speaking skills. So students that might not be as confident speaking out loud might feel more confident once they've participated in a workshop like that. Secondly is some good reference skills. So that's something that we'll learn through the workshop very briefly, is how to source your references and how to frame your facts when you're doing a factual podcast. And creativity as well, because I think podcasting is a good way to get your information out there, and it's become quite popular recently. So just introducing a new way to students who didn't know about this before could be really cool. But in general, for the conference and all the clan activities, completely agree with Gosia as well. I hope students really come out with the confidence to do projects. So taking ideas from other countries as well, and realizing that a project that you could do in your home country, like a 48-hour project throughout the conference, it's not necessarily difficult, and there's ways to work around it, and there's people that you can work with. So giving them the confidence to go out and do a project, or even just have a better understanding of some environmental topics that are really important, and listening to all the sorts of expert opinions that we'll have during the conference. If they can come out with just a little bit of better understanding about the environment and how complex the actual problems are, that would be awesome.
For sure. It is amazing how much you can put into one short workshop like this one. Okay, so the next one is, what has been one challenge that you've had along the process? One specific that highlights that you want to point out, and how were you able to overcome it?
I can tell that this year challenge is to connect with people you have to work. For example, me and Arik lives in Jakarta, I live in Poland. So it's like a 5-hour difference right now. So it was hard to find one time that we could meet each other, because, for example, in the morning, he had study, and in my evening, I was having a job. So it was really hard to have sometimes to meet and even to chat with each other, because it's even better when we meet on the cameras and we could talk. Chatting is not that good. But we was like, okay, what time is in your country now? My time is now. Okay, so maybe at this time it will be okay. Yeah, okay, so we can meet at this time. But it was really hard to make it through this time zones.
Yeah, 100% agree. I don't have much to add to that. I think that is the biggest challenge. Number one is time zones and keeping up a really high level of communication. And there's also internet connectivity, there's certain language barriers, and just trying to keep that high level of communication. It takes a little bit more effort, especially online and with the horrible time zones. So yeah, definitely major challenge.
It was the same every year, because before even the normal conference, when we meet each other, we were discussing things online. But when we meet one day before conference, we can talk with each other face to face and make everything we made online in the real life. So it was much easier. Now this is the day that we meet each other and we have to combine everything.
Yes, this might be a more specific question for the workshop, but what has been your motivation to lead a workshop for the CEI conference?
Motivation, mainly because I did the same workshop last year. I know that's probably not the answer that you were looking for, but yeah, mainly because I had experience running it last year, and it was pretty successful last year in the terms that we did come out with a outcome that we could present to the rest of the conference. So they asked me if I wanted to do it again this year. But in terms of other motivations, I think I've made the workshop sort of my own as well. and I've incorporated some of me and Jess, who's running the workshop with me, our ideas and our teachings and learnings and learning objectives that we find really important, and we've made it our own as well. So in that aspect, that also motivates you to do well in a workshop, because you believe in several learning objectives and several important aspects that you really want to put in there and really want students to walk away with. So yeah.
Maybe I can add, I'm not leading a workshop this year, but I did it in Portugal. I was making a social media workshop, which is really fun. We were just making Snapchats, Instagram posts, short videos. It was like, you want to lead this workshop because when you have an idea and you want to share it with other people after like few conferences you've been before, and it was like, you know, I've been to 3 conferences, and I was like, yeah, I want to do it when I'm alumni. So it was the thing that when I'm alumni, okay, I can finally do it.
This can also be a specific one for the clan because you're leading the clan. So I don't know if you want to say anything about that.
I think it's kind of same with the leading clan. Maybe the leading clan is like for the whole week. And it's really nice because like you're the kind of mother for the students when you're a clan leader, and they like ask you for help, and you're telling them what to do, and it's like, you know, it's like a kind of motherhood, I could tell.
I'm just gonna ask them one last question to finish off, and then we can continue with you two. But feel free to stay. So now to finish off, what message would you like to give or to leave to the general public under the theme of your workshop or your clan or the general themes of the conference?
Okay. I think a really important message that I'd like to share is the importance of being well informed. I think today, in the environment that we're operating in, it's very easy to lose track and to be ill-informed about subjects that really make a difference in our environmental or political environments. And I think as young people, it's really important that we are part of those conversations and that we educate ourselves appropriately for that. So this is a cat. So having the confidence to question things, having the confidence to ask why and how, or why this would make a difference compared to that. Oh my God.
No problem.
Yeah, so being well informed and having the confidence to question solutions and come up with new solutions, because that's what we need to be doing.
Maybe to the general conference, because like the clan is a part of the conference. It's like maybe I don't want to like split it into groups, like clan is your clan, but when we talk about the general conference, I think that the thing I wanted to leave is that you have to talk. If you have to talk with other people, we have to like talk with people from other countries, because if you meet new people, for example, like from a different side of the world, to be true, you learn, and you learn a lot. And the most important thing about these conferences is that you learn a lot about the environment, you learn about culture, and you learn a lot about the different kind of friendships. Because for example, I met one Turkish guy in 2012. We haven't met each other since then. It's like 9 years, and we'll still keep in touch. So, and we're still like exchanging information, and this is I think the most important thing, like to grow.
Certainly, it does give an insight into what CI conference can give you and what they are. So thank you so much for your time and your interest. I loved all your answers.
Yeah, thank you very much for taking this time to answer the questions for our team. And I hope that everything goes as planned. And I can't wait to be part of the conference now.
Yeah, sure. My name's Ellie. I'm 15 and I'm in secondary school in Ireland, and for the conference this year I'm an Irish volunteer and I'm also a clan leader, so I'm helping at the junior alumni with the clans and then doing a future leader session.
Hi, I'm Molly. I'm 17. I'm from West Cork, Ireland. I'm an Irish volunteer and I'm helping lead clans with the junior alumni as well. And yeah.
Okay, so a general one first is how did the ideas, we understand that you have been involved with the whole planning process and developing. So how did the ideas to your clans or what you're working in, or your workshops came to be?
For the future leader session, well, we're doing 3 different groups. So there's 3 different groups of Irish volunteers. And our aim for the future leader session is, because I was a participant last year and we did a debate and it was okay. And we wanted to make it better this year. So we thought, I think we're all kind of doing similar layouts. So we're doing a presentation about kind of different Irish environmental problems, kind of things like that. And then we're going to do like a quiz. And then I'm not sure if we're doing a debate. We're not 100% finished yet. But our ideas we did a lot of Zoom meetings and stuff like that.
Okay, so the question is as well general for you both to answer if you want to. But it's what are your expectations for the day of the workshop? Or what are the expected results for the after you end that workshop?
But I guess my expectations are, like, I'm similar in age to everyone that's doing the conference, and I was a student last year in the conference. So I guess my expectations are it's not really a time off, but it's kind of time for all of us to talk about what we've learned and stuff, and maybe come up with solutions that we might like to see when we're older. So I guess that's kind of my expectations. I'm not sure about Molly's.
My expectations are probably to learn more, like especially like with all the projects and stuff, it's showing us what's happening in our country as well. So I just want to learn more and get to know people.
Yeah, I think it is very helpful to be around the similar age, because as you were saying, you can make changes based on your own recent experience, and you can in a way connect better with the students. So I think that's great. All right, so I'm gonna continue with the next one. How do you both have previous experience with CEI?
Oh.
I do. I was at the conference. It wasn't really a year ago, but last September, I think it was. I was asked if I'd like to do it, and I was like, yeah, may as well. So I did the conference for a week. We were the Irish delegates, and we were very lively. We made it as fun as possible. So that's my experience with it, and I enjoyed it last year. So I thought I'd do it again.
All right. So based on that, how would your experience, and in Molly's case, the recent one that you've had, helped shape or influence how you have built in the Future Leader session or anything else that you've been working on?
I think last year, because it was the first online conference, everyone was kind of figuring out how they'd run it and stuff. So it was different to what a normal conference would have looked like before COVID. And I enjoyed it, but there were certain parts that weren't like as interactive as I would have thought they'd be. So this year, we're like trying to help run the future leaders. We've kind of taken that into account and tried to make it as interactive as possible compared to just like sitting and watching videos. And I think the whole conference is kind of more interactive, more workshops and like icebreakers and kind of like the flash mob and online Pictionary, like kind of all those things to kind of make it more fun, I guess, for our age group, because it's hard to, like, after online school especially, it's hard to like sit down all day and watch videos. So I guess the interactive parts are definitely important.
For sure. Yeah. Molly, do you want to add anything?
Well, it's my first time doing CEI and I don't know what it was like last year, but I think definitely even from Zoom classes in school and stuff, you definitely like want to have more conversations with people, and especially since everyone's like the same age, all the students attending are the same age as us. Like, I don't know, it's the conversation, and you get to meet exciting people.
What is your motivation to lead a workshop, or what has been your motivation to participate in this year's conference?
My motivation to take part in this conference was I'm not prepared for this at all, guys. I'm sorry. Was the environment, really. Like, I have a huge interest in it. My mom works with the environment, like with the fish in the sea and stuff. And yeah, I got really interested in it over lockdown, started reading more about it and everything. So I was excited to learn more. So taking part in it will help.
My motivation is part the environment, definitely, but I'm a people person and I love talking to different people. And I guess this conference is kind of like you're meeting new people from different countries who have similar interests. So I guess that's my motivation, and just try to make it as fun as possible.
For sure. Yeah, I think this is back with when the age similarity comes into play. Okay, so we're gonna just do 2 more questions. This one that I'm gonna say is related to challenges. So what has been one challenge that you've encountered throughout the process, and how have you been able to overcome it?
For me, one of the challenges has definitely been communication. I'm in a different school to Molly, so it's been hard, especially with the end of school when we had exams and obviously being busy with other things. So communication was the hardest thing for me in trying to talk to the other girls from the other school. And I guess the way we've overcome it is we had like Zoom meetings, so I guess the communication blocks were kind of like ended there. And then like near the end of planning, I got all of the girls' phone numbers, so I guess that was kind of how we overcame the communication and blocks.
For sure.
Communication is definitely my problem as well, because it's like all in emails, so I wouldn't even know I had a meeting until like an hour before, because I'm not very planned. So like for a lot of it, for like the last like 2 weeks, I didn't really know what was going on, and now I don't know, planning is definitely my problem.
All right, yeah. I can see certainly that, because with the last group as well, it all has to do with like this not being in the same place, same time zones, communication. So I think that with virtual anything, that tends to be sort of like the main problem. But it also shows that the conference overall, the planning has gone pretty smoothly. So that's great.
To close up this session, what is the message that you would like to leave to your general public under the theme of your workshops?
For me, the message I think I'm trying to leave is that we're the future. We're the young people who are going to be like talking about the environment and trying to fix the problems from generations before. So I guess my message is we can try and do our best, and obviously we're all participating in this, so we're doing our little bits. I don't know if that's enough. Is that the question answered?
That's perfectly fine.
Okay,
yeah,
good.
That's great.
Well, the message I'd be saying is quite like, I heard a bit of Ellie's. Like, we're the young people, we don't learn about it in school. We don't learn enough about climate change and the environment in school. And like, because there's so many young people here, it's great to be able to educate people and show them what we have to say as well. And maybe we'll get older people to listen to us and make some changes. Would be my message. So
yeah, it's important to learn how to approach it from the different perspectives. So thank you. I think that was it. Thank you so much for being here, for your time, and I will see you back in the conference.
Thank you so much.